you did. I was going to say, I feel like I haven't seen you this summer.
Petey, we're live.
45 minutes, check out sailing.
Yeah, do you want to send me a link?
Yeah, it'll be a little while. And
I think we do want to move this
Petey,
table
we're taking the sound off the top mic right now.
Copy.
Here's the 5 minute.
I'm gonna nudge this a little forward, Shawnee.
All right. What's your...
Yep.
All right, bye. What are you doing down in Madison?
Work. Found better, steadier job, so.
Yes.
Freelancing for the trip was nice, but I need a paycheck. Regular one.
Oh, there's someone else on the board.
There's
someone else. Okay, so now.
So that Ben,
Recording.
that's gonna be like Mare's kind of.
Now it's recording
Just
everything that
give her space, and I'll be good.
Oh, okay.
You see where it says CPU there?
Won't even record it if you just leave it.
Just a heads
We're
up.
recording now, just straight to the YouTube. We'll record it, but we like that. We need backup.
Yeah.
So you see it says CPU there?
Yeah.
So that's what you need to monitor and make sure it doesn't go crazy.
What is that, your audio?
That's your central processor. So that's the computer, how bogged down it's getting.
Oh,
it's an encoder. It sucks a lot of graphics. So right now we have no graphics, no titles. All we have is video. Okay, Petey?
We'll get through it.
Yeah. And this is as much a test as anything.
Watch out, you got Hot Carl coming in here.
See, I got a lot of shit.
Sorry, oh, you're good, you're good, you're good.
So now you can actually look and see what it looks like.
It's gonna be great, Dave.
You betcha.
And that's what it looks like on the way.
Yeah. Zoom doesn't have much
A little bright, Petey.
A little bright? Copy.
Yeah. Are you in focus?
sold my house. I paid the money.
I don't know if it's on auto or manual.
Yeah, it looks like you're in focus.
Better than
It's just not great. I mean, it's just, we're on 480p, you know? I gotta look up tonight and see if I can figure out what the driver issue is with the camera, or it might just be a hardware issue. When's the last time you streamed off the
I don't think I've streamed off that thing like long.
it might just, do you have your old Pass on it?
Yeah.
And that one was a way better
Yeah.
streak, you know? We
Yeah.
might just go to that tomorrow.
Perfect.
I know that works.
Yeah, I brought that, so.
But we're live, you know?
We're live.
Let's see if how the sound's coming through the top. I think with no wind noise, it should be fine.
Spectator boats, please stay well clear of the starting area.
Everyone just be aware,
Spectator boats,
you're
clear the
all
area.
on sound until we get this mic sorted out.
Are we spectator mode or are we a photography mode?
He doesn't know yet, but he will. I try to avoid Blake. Shouldn't be saying that live, but. Sorry, Blake. Love you, man. Do a great job. I just try to stay out of your way. That's what I meant to say. I just came out wrong.
Okay, so you can see basically you need to monitor this, and we're going to get other stuff sorted out to add on to this right now. Okay? Normally you're going to have a screen here that's got graphics and all this kind of stuff that you can switch to and whatever, and we're going to have an audio coming in off the mic. We just don't have it set up. It's going to take a couple minutes.
So, how will you get the graphics up on the screen?
You just click them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So like you could
just layer it.
Yeah. So you could like. The thing to do is to end this here.
Nice pop.
Live. Kill this one.
All right, looks like.
Minute 10.
Okay.
That's fine.
If you could go, well, that'll be good right here because I can shoot through the V, sort of.
Yeah, do you want to set that? Well, I suppose you can't. Cause
Yeah, we gotta be kind of closer.
So like you can go
To that computer.
I can. Do you want me to pivot so you shoot?
Yeah, if you could like go a little bow to the right, I mean, either that or I can shoot right through here over your head is fine.
You swing camera left.
Okay, you
can
go bow to.
Actually take this, and you can actually make graphics. So you can like put stuff like
There you
this
go.
and put, yeah, and like put scoreboards, you can put titles. You can
All right, it's race one here, Cleany. 2014.
Well, for the two people watching this right now, since we're not really up anywhere, welcome to the 2014 Jaguar Land Rover A-Scow National Championship, Lake Minnetonka. You're actually looking at start one, and I think we'll have everything sorted by start two for you, but These are the A-Scows, 100-year-old design, plus more than 100 years, I think.
Yep.
And back then, they were faster than cars. And we're just watching the shady lady taking the pin way over. They're going to have to come back around here. These boats capable of, what, upwards of 25 knots, Petey?
Yep.
And just unbelievable fast. Huge 38-foot long surfboards that sail with from 5 to 8 crew. Right now we're in barely 6 knots of breeze, and you can see how they move. They just charge along. And you guys just enjoy the sights as we get all this stuff dialed in. The real fun will be Saturday and Sunday when we have everything sorted out. We are under a no wake zone restriction here. The entire Lake Minnetonka, which is in its highest recorded level in history. So we're not going to be able to chase or we'll get arrested. Not that that's new.
Right.
The Eagle getting a tough start, Petey. They're usually pretty balls on, right?
Vincent Porter.
Is he skipping it?
Yeah.
Big thanks to Great Clips out here today with us. And all the sponsors of the A-Scow North America. You can check it out at facebook.com/what? A-Scow North America?
2014, I think A-Scow Nationals.
A-Scow, sorry, Nationals. I keep saying North America. All right, I'm gonna get this mic working, Petey.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a title. So what you can do for me, my young friend.
Oh, Jonathan.
Where is he?
Right back here.
Back row.
Back row. Right to the right of you.
Let's go simple here. I think I have a solution.
I kind of like the boats that are going out to the brackets point.
Kind of like left better.
Well, we'll see.
That's the fun part about it.
Although it looks really good under the island coming out.
Two. I think we got it.
Got good levels.
Yeah, I think we got it. All right, so you've got sound here to monitor.
Yeah.
2. And what you can do is,
I think you just pull that cable out. We can put it up.
yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Here, Ben, can you help her? Yeah. Put it on the back deck or even in front of that little railing. I think it just pulls up.
right up.
Maybe just put it in
Give me a
front
minute.
of
I
it.
got to sort a couple things out.
Yeah.
You're going to take over shortly. Folks, welcome to the A-Scow National Championship. Keep watching. We are sorting this stuff out, and thank you for checking out early and being an early adopter. This is going to get a lot better, so keep an eye on it and send the link around to your friends. Real time.
Yeah.
go, Sean, man.
Historically, they're headed over here.
Go for it.
Ramble.
Ramble while I get this sorted.
Okay.
Be afraid.
So we got the classic Lake Minnetonka. We've got some boats high and to the left on port tack, sailing probably
Talk about those ones while I'm aiming that one.
270 degrees, and then we have this pack over here to the right, which is on the same tack, port, at a little better angle. So it's going to be all about what Brackett's Point does, which is this beautiful point of land that sticks out. And we'll see if we get any right-hand shift coming out of this corner. Also to note this year with the water levels absolutely so high, there's really no weeds, milfoil that is, that the boats have to contend with this year, which is really nice for sailing, of course, as well. I feel it's a little bit like the U.S. Open golf tournament last weekend. It's a very quiet atmosphere here on the lake. Very peaceful.
A-Scow National.
Right here we have
A-Scow National.
Facebook, A-Scow Nationals, 2014.
Keep going, Sean, man. Stick with it.
Okay. And by the way, have you been to sailinganarchy.com? Because it's really the coolest sailing website in the world.
I need to charge this, or I'm going to be in big trouble.
Right in front of us here we have Mr. Carl Zinn sailing on the M35 Amazing. Carl's a great story. He's been sailing at the yacht club for, I think this is he's a second generation. He's the owner. His two kids, Max and Hans, are also sailing with him. So we've got a semi-family affair with Hans Zinn right in front of us. So we're looking at 3 generations of A-Scow sailors on the Amazing, which is sort of a testament to the A-Scow class and the Inland Yachting Association, really what it's all about. It's really all about family sailing. A lot of these teams know each other for, all the way back from their boat years all the way to the A-boats. So a lot of these teams have been sailing with and against each other for the better part of their lifetime, which is very, very special. So I think Petey's looking at maybe M21 out of there. Is that right, Petey?
Yeah, we got
Yep.
21 and then T Fry tag on the I-7 will come into frame in a second.
So M21 is Pat Hughes' boat called Melvin. He's also got a pretty rock star team this weekend, I would guess you might say, with Harry Melgus on board, Sam Rogers on board. I believe Ricky Kotovic is on board.
Ricky's out.
Oh, Ricky's
Ricky
out.
quit.
Okay. Anyways, he's got some rock star guys. He's from Lake Minnetonka. They got Chris Jewett on board. So between them, they've got can't even count the World Championships, the National Championships, and the Inland Championships. Pretty stacked up on that boat, and they're going really fast out of the corner. And look who's coming out of the right-hand corner! My God, ladies and gentlemen, it's the M4 Catapult with Joel Ronning on it. So I'll give a big cheer for Joel. That's actually the boat that I usually sail on. But this weekend I actually opted to drive the powerboat, drink Bloody Marys, and work with the SA team because I thought it'd be far more fun. And so far, it's been a good call.
Shawnee, right here, the V715.
The V7 here you go, Pete.
These are the kids, man. This is the youngest boat out here that you're looking at right now. You are. If Mara could just give me a little space, I could see there. Here we go. They are a bunch of young punks, and they're out racing A-boats, and they're digging it, and we're happy to have them here. I pushed really hard for those guys to come. Last year, they didn't feel up to speed. They had just got the boat last year, but we're really happy to have them here. Eric Good, I think his brother's on there. There's a bunch of just young kids from Pewaukee, and it's great to have them out here, man. What do you think about that, Sean, man?
I think that's awesome because one thing in the A-boats is there is certainly a shortage of young kids teams. The boats are, pretty expensive new, although the used market's pretty good. You can get yourself a pretty decent used A-boat for, 30, 40 grand. So not too much off of maybe a used Melgus 24 or something like that. So the boats are out there, and there's a lot of boats out there, and there's a lot of good project boats out there that you can get for, maybe 10 grand or whatever, and fix it up over the winter.
I'm thinking, Sean.
We're still heading towards the mark, okay?
So then we can turn around and go down with them.
All right.
We are almost all set. We are going.
Just give me a laptop, a phone, a power boat, a bloody, and a microphone, and I can do it, most of them. So,
At the same time too?
yes. Well, interestingly, we've got I-7 is at Madcap, who is also a former champion, kind of deep, and I-1 is deep, and Tom Burton on M8, who's usually a master of Lake Minnetonka, multiple E-Boat national champion.
Here we go. Rob Evans.
Is just deep, and Rob Evans, who once again, many world national champion, probably the best start we saw. Just shows you how cruel Lake Minnetonka can be.
He won the wrong way.
Yep, and that's Lake Minnetonka for you. Sometimes it is the trickiest place to sail. You got to be so careful.
So you know, we're not recording. We're recording in 4 years. Okay.
Whatever.
So it looks like we still got the 21, probably about 5 or 6 boat lengths to the buoy, followed by I-96. I don't know who that is, Petey. Who is that again?
That is Chuck Lamphere.
Chuck Lamphere. The M4 with Joel on there, Joel Ronning. Dr. Mark Christensen's on there. George Hansen's on there. My good friend and neighbor Mike Fay is on there.
So probably turn around or get ready to probably.
Okay. We're going to scoot right behind M64 here. We're going to give you a close-up view of what these cool boats look like. Remember, it's no wake zone here, so we got to do things kind of slowly. Once again, really like to thank our sponsor, Great Clips Racing. Fabulous company. Go get your hair cut. Download the check-in app, by the way. www.greatclips.com. Go to the mobile page. Download the check-in app.
And go buy a Jaguar and go buy a Land Rover.
Yeah, and then go to buy a Jaguar and a Range Rover.
With your
And
new haircut, go buy a car.
yes.
Yeah.
And our sponsor just wanted me to tell you that if you download an app, you could win a Range Rover. No, that's not true.
All right, so probably.
Could be a project Land Rover.
He didn't say what year the Range Rover is going to be.
So what we got? M21, M4, I-96, B57, I-1.
I-1, I-7, M55. Another awesome story. That's the Allen boat with Harry Allen, who is also, third, fourth generation, been sailing out here forever. He's got his daughter on board, Emily, who is I've sailed with, my wife sailed with, great gal. He's also got his brother, I think Bill Allen, who was a former gold medalist, may be on board, may not. I think that was the 1972 Kiel Games with Buddy, if I'm not mistaken. Dave thinks it was 76 silver. I think it was a 72 gold. Peter will know the answer to this.
You were both right.
We're both correct. Okay, we're going to try to... This is going to be a little tricky with the no-wake and or a slow pontoon boat, because even when light air, these boats are going, 9 knots, skipping along with everybody on the low side. So you can imagine when it's windy what happens.
Okay with that? Posting on Merrick, just tell them what you want to do and plug them in, and we'll all switch it up. We're just trying to keep the Facebook post kind of current. If you could just help us out there, it'd be awesome.
All right, Petey, we're live on the front page of SA, okay?
All right.
Wi-Fi card in there? Or?
So here, going into the first jibe, is the boat Fast Forward. I believe that's Fast Forward.
You guys start driving, just so you know.
Okay, so sound is off here.
Yeah.
Sounds off.
No, we're good. We're
Oh.
good. Sound is on.
Jibing these boats is really tricky. A lot of teams obviously been on the, the Melgus 32s, the Melgus 24s. Same kind of thing, but here you can see your spinnaker is literally in the water. So a big key to jibing these boats is really snap the boat around and get the kite to what we call blow back through the triangle, which helps it stay out of the water and then snaps the jibe nicely.
Yes. Correctamundo.
So you got 57 in frame here, Petey?
I do have 57.
So you can see 57. They've got everybody on the low side. It's just not that windy yet, but you can see they got nice little boat speed going. Another key in the A-boat is you got to keep the boats heeled up. Really contradictory to a lot of keelboat sailing because you're always working on keeping the boat heeled up.
I'll take it, Sean, man. Well, it's great to be back here with Sean, man, and Petey Crawford and the whole crew here. But, folks, I want to welcome you if you're just joining us on the Sailing Anarchy front page. We are at the A-Scow Nationals, one of the most historic racing boats in the world. These things have been sailing in big fleets in the inland areas of America for over 100 years. They originally were made with gaff rigs, and they still did about 20 knots back then. Legends in this fleet, so many, but certainly most especially gold medalist and Buddy Melgus. And Melgus builds all these boats now, right? So my name's Alan Block. We've got a great little team here. We've got Sean Hendrickson helping out on the mic, and Petey Crawford, and we got Dave with the sponsor, very knowledgeable, and some excellent photographers out here. And again, we're just sort of getting this going. I think it'll get more and more professional as the weekend wears on. And we should have a lot of fun for you. But really the best place to kind of keep an eye on what's going on is going to be Facebook and Yacht Scoring. Yachtscoring.com will have results and whatnot in real time. Are you doing that?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, go forward now, Sean. We're there. A little bit of pace.
I'll duck down here. So now you can see what these boats look like. These boats went to asymmetric spinnakers, a decade ago, I think?
A little over that.
A little more than 10 years ago, and the transformation in this fleet and the A-Scow fleet has been phenomenal. They're just so fast, and it's kind of anathema to you folks on the coast that think every boat needs a keel. Well, out here we don't need a keel, because what's the worst thing that happens is the boat flips over, and a tender comes over, and you figure out how to right it and clear the weeds off the spreaders, and you're good to go. I don't even think the weeds would hit the spreaders with the lake up this high. This lake is at absolutely historic levels, yeah? This lake's at absolutely historic levels of water. It is unbelievable. Docks are 2 feet submerged in places. Lawns are falling into the water, right, Sean, man?
Basements are flooded. Houses are flooded. Yacht Club doesn't have any power because they don't want anyone to get electrocuted.
And amazingly, there's actually pieces of the shoreline just floating around the lake. We saw like swamp bogs, like peat bogs, and all these plants and dirt just floating around in the lake here. Absolutely wild. Now, Sean, man, who's really the cream of this crop? Who do we expect to be on the podium in this fleet?
Well, we usually always have some wagering going, but I think this weekend you got to really take a look at M21 with Pat and Chris Jewett and Harry Melgus, of course. They've got a strong shot. I mean, you got guys, Rob Evans certainly could be up there if he can dig himself out of this race. Madcap, which is Madcap, who's won a couple of these before.
Vincent on the I-1.
Yeah, I got Vincent Porter on the I-1. Obviously, he's no stranger to doing some high.
He certainly won this one before.
Yep, some high level of sailing with.
And what about Buddy? Did we get to see Buddy this year or no?
No.
That's too bad.
I think the plan. He won the inland a couple of years ago, and I think he sort of retired on that note.
Hey, he's like 170 years
not
old.
Mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, he can still come out here and whip all these asses.
There's no doubt.
No doubt about that. He's still the wizard of Zenda.
Good
Color-wise, everything good?
It's a little pink, like that red's a little pink, but it's not terrible. Okay.
So, hey, this is Sean, man. We're just trying to keep up with the fleet. Like I said, it's no wake zone. You can see there, we got, what's the GPS say? About 5.5, 6 knots of boat speed, and there's about 7 knots of breeze, and we cannot really keep up with the A-boat. So imagine, once again, 15 knots of breeze, 20 knots of breeze. These boats will be going 20 knots plus downwind with everybody on the high side, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be moving much, and when the wind starts blowing here, if we get some breeze, I don't think we're going to be running around chasing. I think we're probably going to, no, you're right, we're probably going to hang out by the, hang out by the committee boat and just check out starts and roundings. But these things come back so quickly that it just doesn't take that long, An A-Scow sails around at about 12 knots upwind in the breeze, and where's the mark? That's what I would do. So we're going to head down to the bottom mark here. These races are generally 2-lap races, 4 legs, up, down. And it's a very civilized class. They make them as long as they can, which is usually sort of a mile and change. And they can be pretty quick races. Petey, they'll increase the legs if it's real breezy, right?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of go for a time-based.
I remember, I swear, doing six legs or 8 legs at times, right?
Right. Well, if you go the short way here, then they'd probably do another lap or 2. But if they can use the length of the course like they have today with this breeze, they'll just do 2. They'll do 2 laps.
Huh? Just talk a little louder into the mic.
Copy that.
You can also mess with levels.
Sure.
Somewhere.
There's just a big difference when you're talking.
Yeah, got it. I project. I have what's called a command voice.
We got the commander and the chairman amongst us. Yes.
Maybe a little less weight, Shawnee. We really don't want to push it. It can make us look bad. Make the yacht club look bad. What's going on
Is with the no wake zone, a lot of people on the lake have complained that they think that the Minnetonka Yacht Club is getting preferential treatment for the sailing regatta. What they don't understand is they can use the lake, they just can't rip around. So the sailboats can sail, but some of these people just don't get the rules. They don't understand what's going on. They're just pissed because they had the worst winter ever, and now they can't take their boat out on the lake. So they're having issues with that.
Petey, I always thought that the yacht club had all sorts of political clout and power here. I'm surprised that the non-sailors are able to make even their voices heard.
Well, I think I think they're just trying to do the right thing, and and not really pull any plugs, or pull any power.
The reality is that you throw a wake out here, you could do $10,000 in damage with one little wake pretty easily, I think.
But a little strange because like the other day it was blowing 35 out here, right from the south, and if you look over, they've got 3-4 foot waves washing up. So it's a little. I think they're really just trying to keep the traffic off the lake, which we agree with. And I have to tell you, I've heard a lot of positive comments from people that love the no wake because obviously the powerboat traffic is down 90%. And when you are out, everyone's just putting along. So it's been absolutely peaceful. So
you can talk to people, you can say hi to your neighbor in his boat, and obviously you can sail. This place can be a little bit brutal on a typical weekend day for sure. I mean, I've been out here on a Saturday in the middle of the summer. It's challenging. It's like an 8th size Lake St. Clair for those of you from the Detroit area. It's just gnarly.
M21 is leading. It looks like the M4 will be in second at this first gate.
I-1 just bounced all the way back up to rounding in 5th or 6th, and they were deep. That's Vincent Porter.
Wow, and we've seen what Vincent can do. Does he have John with him as well?
I don't know. Petey probably knows the setup.
I saw John. I don't know where. Is he with the Eagle? Who's he sailing with?
No, the I-1 is the Eagle. John, I don't think John's here. I haven't seen him yet, but that doesn't mean he's not here. I guess I've been running around like a madman.
Look over left here, Shaman. You got a problem? You're going to have to go out to the right. We're just taking a look, and again, we'll have names for you and more than that, but if you want to see who's registered and run it alongside this screen on YouTube, you can go to yachtscoring.com and just look on the right side of your screen. You will see the Jaguar Land Rover A-Scow National Championship. Big thanks to our Jaguar Land Rover of Mania.
And I'll tell you, that new was one sexy car.
Well, they had the Jaguar XF then. Now take a look. You can see the board. You can see that the windward board here. That shouldn't be down, right? Correct. So that should be pulled all the way up. And again, one of the reasons these things are so successful and so perfectly suited for these lakes is these lakes are full of weeds, milfoil and all these all sorts of long stringy weeds. And a typical thing like a Melgus 24 or even a fin-keeled boat just will pick up weeds. Whereas these, all you do is you lift that board up and the weeds slide right off. So, I mean, you have a kind of a cone as they come around that you could beat a windward,
You think they had weeds back 100 years ago when they designed this boat?
I think there's always been weeds here.
Yeah. We're just wondering if there was weeds 100 years ago, and maybe that was the reason for the boards.
Well, that also is probably. I think sliding bilge boards was pretty common. There was barges. Barges had them as their, that was the shallow water alternative to having a full keel. Again, back in the day, there wasn't lifting keels. There was either a full keel, which was a giant thing. It wasn't like a little fin. It was half a boat hanging down below the surface, or you had a centerboard, right?
And there's some awesome historical photos of these boats, the old wooden A-boats, on being pulled by horses on, basically trailers, and it used to take 3 or 4 days for the Lake Minnetonka boats to get down to Lake Geneva by horse and buggy. So
that's insane, and you can check it out. Go to A-Scow.
We got a starboard or a port tracker behind us, just so you know.
Is it A-Scow.org, Petey? Is that where
I think it's A-Scow.org.
A-Scow.org. You can go there. There's a bunch of great historical info there, pictures and articles, and really the history of this class. And good stuff. And again, Facebook.com/A-Scow Nationals will give you photos and text updates and everything that we can provide for you. Thanks again for tuning in here. Again, this is day 1 of a 3-day national championship, and this is a bit of a test for us as well as for everyone else. This is our first time streaming through YouTube. We've always used Justin TV and Ustream, but YouTube has just been getting a little better and a little better every month with their live streaming solutions. Right now we're on SD, which is 480 pixel resolution. We're going to work on having the HD cameras out tomorrow. We're just having slight issues with them, but we're glad you could join us for this fairly low budget live broadcast. Last month I was in Austria with 19 TV production crew. Doing some live stuff, and this is quite a bit more fun than sitting in a little booth looking at a screen right here on the beautiful lake, watching some racing. And at the moment, it looks like, who's the I-7 here, Sean, man?
That is Tom Freitag.
So Tommy Freitag, T. Freitag, is crushing pretty well right now. Where's he from?
Fontana, Wisconsin.
So Freitag from Fontana. Click on the button, see if we can get his crew there.
Sailing on Lake Geneva.
No, sometimes they can put the crew in.
Yeah.
Home waters of Buddy Milk.
So Tom Freitag sails on Lake Geneva, where they do have, I think, the second biggest A-Scow fleet. Is that right?
Not correct.
Not correct. Sorry. Used to be.
We have White Bear and Minnetonka. White Bear Lake and Minnetonka are the top 2 fleets right now in the A-Scow world.
There's 9 or 10 in each, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 2 big fleets. White Bear is Michigan?
White Bear, Minnesota.
Oh, it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Copy. All right. So there you go. I'm learning, you're learning. We're all having a good time with the A-Scows. And I don't know a lot of other boats that would be doing this speed upwind in this breeze. Boy, they're graceful for such an old boat and such a funny-looking sail plan with those very low aspect but huge sails. These these boats have roughly the same sail area as a Melgus 32, but in an extremely different sail plan. Forward, boom, mast quite far forward, and big long boom and short mast, and of course no keel. So yeah, so instead of a Melgus, so basically, these are longer than a Melgus 32 by 6 feet, and they're half the weight because they don't have a keel. So that'll give you some idea. Yeah, Melgus 32 is about 3,700 pounds, I think. So that'll give you some idea of of the performance difference in these boats, and they are absolutely phenomenal. I just hope we get some breeze this weekend. Tomorrow's looking moderate, so you only need about 12 knots to really start looking glamour out here. As Freitag is covering the fleet out to the right, it seems like very few people going to the left. Sean, man, what's the with the wind direction here? What's the sort of tactical move?
Well, it's looking like today's setup. If you look to the west, if PD Pan's camera left, you can see there's a cloud deck over there. You can also see there's just more texture and more pressure to my eye on the right-hand side of the course. The other thing you've got going is PD Pan's left still. What looks like shoreline, that's actually Big Island. That whole thing there is a gigantic island. And so you do have some island effect, I think, affecting the breeze a little bit. And then you can just see that it's just visibly a little lighter on the left. So I like the right. Plus they're coming out, you can see they've got a nice angle off Brackett's Point right now. If PD's over there, it's a pretty interesting. The big brick house is actually the old Pillsbury residence from Pillsbury General Mills Company. So really old historic home.
That one right there. There you go.
But you can see that they're up pretty nice on the starboard board over here, coming on Brackett's Point. Once again, there's very few weeds this year, so you can actually sail right across that point. There's no low water issue this year. Years past, there's actually a buoy out there that you have to mind because it shoals up, but this year, no problem. Yeah, it just looks really nice over here, and I think that's the 21 still. Pat Hughes on there, the team Melvin. Look at that. They're actually tacking. They're actually going to go back for more over there on that corner. And I like that move. Then we do have a little pack all the way across the lake on the left. Petey's going to slowly pan around. And the thing that I think you'll notice here is those guys on starboard, that angle is going to make it pretty tough to come back on port unless they get some Big Island effect underneath this island. And once again, that's kind of the cool thing about Lake Minnetonka is it's really tricky out here because there's a lot of different shifts and a lot of things can happen.
It's sort of the ultimate in lake sailing. When you think lake sailing, you think fickle, shifty, but Minnetonka, unlike a more sort of open lake like Lake St. Clair or even Lake Garda, which is narrow but open, Lake Minnetonka's got so many features, both on the bottom and on the on the land that affect breeze and waves and everything else. So it's definitely a super local lake, and obviously these guys, everyone who's sailing a boat here knows the lake because this is one of those holy grails of scow sailing. You got to come here if you sail scows. So it's not like there's a huge advantage for the guys who live here because everyone who's from the neighboring areas, they all know it too. But it is a tricky place, and these are tricky boats. They're extremely tweaky. You've got constant rig adjustments. You got check stays and backstays, or not backstays, but you got checks and all sorts of rig tensioners and fine tunes and coarse tunes, and then you have this massive, gigantic, 1,700 square foot spinnaker, something like that. I think it's about 1,700 square feet, bigger than a Melgus 32 spinnaker.
Toughest line in sailing, says Brian Porter.
Is that? I thought that was a buddy quote. So now I'm about 230 pounds and I can lift a lot of weight and when it's blowing 15 knots even, I need another guy Sean's size to pull the spinnaker in with me. So Brian Porter said it's the most highly loaded line in sailing that doesn't use a winch. And it is. It's just a ratchet block and two guys gronking it in, and it is a nightmare. And the clue of the spinnaker comes around nearly to the helm. So the jibes can be a bear. And I'll tell you what, Sean, man, for what you said, you're right that the left is a tough angle, but Vincent is maybe making it work here.
Bit of Big Island love over here, and he's found a lane.
And it's gonna be a tough. I can't call it here. It looks like the right is a little bit stronger, but only that very lead boat. And Vincent, I think, went around a lot of boats there.
It'll come to the 200 yards around the buoy to prove which one of these good angles holds. Because starboard's up, port's up. One of these has got to win out.
If we're gonna go to the finish. Yep, I know. That was just me shutting it down. So we are at the final top mark of race 1 of the 2014 Jaguar Land Rover A-Scow U.S. National Championship. This is race 1 of perhaps 6 that we expect out here for the bragging rights in the A-Scow fleet. They've got 2 big events every year. The first is the Nationals. The second is the
Line Honor Special Delivery.
from Line Honor Special Delivery. Unfortunately, we don't have a graphic to share Line Honors with you. But a big shout out to Bob Hillier. Who is he here?
No, he was coming up with the team. They were coming up, but Kevin Jewett is their tactician and main trimmer, and he is expecting his second child any day now, so he had to kind of pull the plug, and then the rest of the team just kind of fell apart. The owner just didn't feel comfortable with anybody else going, so Mike Keefe and that crew bailed out on the regatta, and they're missing the best conditions they've ever missed.
Well, big congratulations to Kevin Jewett, and that's great news for him. Bummer that that Bobby and the boys aren't here, but obviously well represented. Line Honors loaded throughout this fleet. Great supporter of Sailing Line Honors Yacht Racing Outfitters. Check them out online at linehonors.com, and of course check out Great Clips. Yeah, the camera's not on you. So M21 goes around first. Who's that?
That's Pat Hughes.
Pat Hughes around first
Harry Melgus,
with Sammy Rogers and Harry Melgus and
and then this guy right here.
Sam Rogers, good coach.
Rashid. Well, what was his other nickname? Grandpa.
Yeah.
Because he was sailing with Sam Rogers was sailing with
Daddy.
Big Daddy. Who was he sailing with?
He was sailing with Grace.
Oh, with Gracie. Yeah, Gracie Lucas on the Melgus 20 doing a great job, and Sam Rogers, all of 30-odd years old, and they called him Big Daddy because he was like the ancient mariner aboard, and he likes that, so we're going to keep calling him Big Daddy. Rashid was better, but with the Pistons no longer a factor, people don't even know what that means anymore. Ball don't lie. So the W88, that is, so
Is that one? Oh, yeah.
pop on W88. Louis Hill.
But I don't think that's
Oh, Louis. I sailed with Louis. He called me to ask me if I could trim for him. Larry Pardee.
Louis great.
Who's the guest? Is there a mystery?
There is no mystery guest.
No mystery.
Here. We were trying to get a lot of non-A-Scow people here. We were trying to get Melgus 32 sailors here, and everybody just talked all big about it, and then for some reason couldn't pull it off. A little disappointing because we had about 4 really good boats ready to be sailed, and they're missing out too. I mean, I don't know what these people are afraid of. Jason Carroll, where are you, bro?
It's actually one of the really cool traditions in this fleet that I think a lot of guys a lot of fleets should think about doing this. But they have boats to let people use, and over the years they brought in some of the world's top sailors. I mean, everyone from the Dave Ullmans and all sorts of Olympian medalists, America's Cup guys, Russell Coots, all these kind of guys, and they bring them in to sail the Nationals and give them a boat and give them a crew, and they call that the mystery guest. And it's a really, really neat historical tradition that unfortunately nobody can make it work this year, but I imagine next year we'll come back with a vengeance. So here's a shout out to you guys. Get in touch with Peter at Penalty Box Productions. If you want to get into next year's A-Scow as a mystery guest, you got to be a damn good sailor. You got to have a name. That's the point. But I can think of a few guys that should probably call. What about T-Hutch?
Yeah, what the problem was. One of the problems with getting someone to come this year is there's people that are sailing Etchels right now and going really fast in an Etchels instead of an A-Scow. And they're sailing far 40s, getting really speedy on the West Coast in the far 40 fleet right now, instead of here sailing A-Scows. I mean, I was trying to get Morgan Reeser. He was all over it, but he just couldn't. He had commitments to the Far 40 program. Here you go, Alan.
Do you know who made that? No. Do you know who produced that?
Jobson.
No. Do you know who produced that?
No, who?
Him.
Oh, really?
Produced, shot, edited.
Oh, really?
So it's a good time actually to give you that shout out. There's a spectacular video that, in fact, our current videographer produced, directed, edited, shot, and did about a year's worth of work for not that much money. 3 years worth of work. Over an hour and a half long, isn't it? An hour-long feature documentary about the A-Scow and the history of it. It's called The Ultimate Ride. I think you can still buy it on. They're still floating around on eBay. Well, you got copies to sell, Petey?
I actually don't, but I am going to be re-edited.
So, all right. So that good news. You heard it here first. Petey is going to put a editor's cut, a digitally remastered editor's cut, with some new footage. New people in the fleet, all sorts of new excitement, but keep your eyes out for The Ultimate Ride. Maybe we'll try and get the old one up on the web somewhere too, maybe, Petey. I don't know if there's any value in it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a spectacular. I mean, look, how often? I mean, and I've got young Ian with me here, Ian Solom.
Yeah.
A-Scow sailor. Ian, you're 19 years old. The Ultimate Ride is what, 12 years old now, Petey?
2003.
Yeah. So. 11, 12 years old. So, when did you first see the movie, and had you already been sailing scows?
I was probably in middle school, and I think we saw someone wakeboarding behind an A-boat, and someone said they were filming for The Ultimate Ride. I don't know if that's true, Petey. Cool. Well, that kind of got me stoked about it, and then I don't know if I've seen the whole film in its length, but definitely want to check it out. It's pretty extreme sailing.
It's pretty long too. I mean, I watched it in a couple of sittings. I thought it was maybe I had the uncut version or something, but I swear I had 90 minutes of stuff. It was pretty awesome. But we just don't get a lot of. I mean, what's the last documentary you could think of in sailing where someone did a documentary on a class of boats? It doesn't happen, and so all credit to Petey Crawford and Penalty Box Productions for putting that together. So keep your eyes out sometime over the next year or so. We're going to have a spectacular, updated Ultimate Ride, and let's all get excited about it. And these boats are awesome. With the new Youth Brigade, if you're anywhere in the inland, if you're anywhere in the Midwest, you got to get in these boats. There's no other ride like it anywhere in the Midwest. You really got to get into offshore sleds to have this much fun, I think. Or some of the really fast dinghies, but
maybe ice boating.
Yeah. But one of the cool things about the A-Scow is that, okay, yeah, it's a lot of people. You got 5, 6, 7, 8 crew, but it's where else do you get that kind of speed in the inland racing? And you get to do it with your friends and family. A lot of these teams have a strong family component to them. Obviously, you grew up sailing with your dad on the A-Scows, and similar thing, a little bit smaller, but. That's always the thing that's been so interesting to me about this fleet is it's very much a summer family activity, and it really helps bring people together.
Yeah. Keeps my dad away from church in the summertime.
Keeps his dad away from church, keeps other guys away from the bottle, So, yeah, no, it's a lot of fun here. We're headed to a finish now. As you can see the fleet approaching slowly from astern, and you can see how rocked up they are. Now, again, the scow shape, this super, super flat scow shape, means that
a lot of apparent wind down there.
It means that sailing them flat is guarantees maximum water hull in the water, maximum drag. So when you sail them heeled up, they're actually like a very, very narrow monohull, and the boards are towed out 6 or 7 degrees or something like that. So you have to be heeled up to have them working properly and getting them to work. So, do the boards come up in the going downwind?
Yeah.
So both boards come up halfway up.
No, the leeward board pretty much stays all the way down.
Leeward board stays all the way down.
Really windy, then you bring it up.
Okay, copy.
High board's always up.
So, but you can see generally these guys will sail with 10 to 15 degrees of heel, something like that. And if you can just imagine the underwater profile of a surfboard, when it's on one end, it's very narrow. And in fact, they almost have more in common with a catamaran than they do with a monohull, these boats. If you can think of a catamaran with 2 very long, skinny hulls separated by a trampoline, and not a very wide one, but let's call it 8 feet wide. And that's kind of like the way that you sail a scow. So they're not. I mean, they're obviously they're a monohull, and that gives them more ability to plane and stuff. But going upwind, they act very much like a multi-hull. And downwind in the displacement mode like this, also very much like a multi-hull. You got to be able to do the light air and heavy here on Minnetonka. In June, you get a little bit of both. And we're just lucky that there's no more rain. And in fact, you know, the levels should hopefully drop pretty quickly from their super high last night. Yeah, we had first time in my life, you open up your Google Maps, it finds out where you are, and then it starts vibrating and shrieking with emergency broadcast system stuff coming through your phone, which is a little nerve-wracking. I mean, yeah, I know the NSA is listening to our phone calls, but I didn't expect them to be able to push me messages too. But yeah, good for safety. There's a lot of people on that thing. Petey, look at the foredeck of this thing. I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, we will have to. Clean. We'll have to show the fans Big Island tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have a little look. It's too bad we can't zoom around, but look at all the spectators. There are a lot of spectators. There's a half dozen people in stand-up paddle boats over the paddle boards over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably 15 spectator boats out here for a little 5-knot light air Minnetonka special. Any excuse to party, right? It is so nice not to have jet skis, and oh my God, this is so nice. Let's get nice and let's get right on the pin here. What do you think? So, let's just get back to this for a second.
This is nice
Say
too,
thanks, Chris.
We're not having to race around with all the stuff.
What is that? The M21.
21.
Pat Hughes on the Melvin. Yeah, just tell this guy thank you. So Pat Hughes on Team Melvin, really legging out on that run. I mean, they were so close there to Porter, and they just absolutely stomped down that run. Beautiful picking their way down through these light puffs. Still got the boat rolling nicely, and you could see all the crew on the leeward side, and the boat's still not heeling over. Talk about form stability. A surfboard's got a lot of it. Almost no rocker. Almost no dead rise, just flat all the way around. And Pat Hughes does the deed. A spectacular victory in race 1 here. And Hughes takes the lead at the 2014 Jaguar Land Rover A-Scow National Championship. 1 point for Hughes and Team Melvin from right here in Lake Minnetonka.
Nice pressure coming down the lake.
There is, you know, maybe that's a thing to come. We do. Shawman sees some nice puffs coming down the lake. Maybe we're going to see some high-speed action. Oh, the biting flies are out.
There's like one.
All right, well, Cricket eat it. That's his job. Sorry about that. That was Cricket eat the flies, man. What's going on? Our little mascot here. Burton. Tom Burton, you're looking at right here with the blue kite. He was deep at that first buoy with the M8. So really nice. And look at them heeling that boat to leeward. Little port starboard action going on and then Porter over there on starboard. And I tell you what, look at the puff. Look at the puff that Burton's got here. Oh, no contest there. Riding it down. Beautiful work from Burton. Passing about 7 boats on that one. You can hear the fan squad behind us. And the Eagle lands over there. I-1, Porter. Easy, Petey. Waiting to say that all morning. Here comes the catapult. That's the Joel Ronning.
Yeah.
So Joel Ronning out here with the catapult. Who's Joel got with him this week?
He's got Dr. Mark Christensen on the mainsail. He's got George Hansen on board. He's got McLean and Gavin Potts, the brothers. He's got Big Mike, my neighbor, Mike Fay, on the boat. And did I say George?
So Joel Ronning coming across the line. You might know Joel from his Melgus 32 or Melgus 20 or J70 program. Always sort of near the top with some great sailors. And Joel sails a lot with, I think, Hardesty, right?
Yeah, Billy sailed with him a bunch of times. I mean, he's gone through a lot of tacticians, actually.
Yeah. The Catapult program has some turnover. This is pretty. You need to be pretty close to this mic for us to catch you, Sean, man. So I don't think we got that one. That's good.
And Joel's actually leaving tomorrow.
Are you kidding?
So, Mark Christensen is going to be driving for the rest of the regatta. So if they can have a good day today, they're going to be probably a little bit better for the rest of the regatta. Doctor's a great sailor, great driver. And, not to take anything away from Joel, but Doctor's been sailing his whole life, and Joel just really hasn't.
Joel's pretty new to this. He's only been around the last 6 or 7 years, right?
The Doctor won multiple ice boating world championships, ice boating national championships, MC inland, E-boat inland. It's a pretty good resume.
Copy. Well, that's interesting information. It'll certainly make it fun to watch here over the course of the weekend with Joel off to go do some work, I think.
There's Thorne Turner on the photo bomb.
Thorne Turner coming across your screen there as we got a nice stack up here. Can you push in here to the pin? And you can always tell these guys to clear out. We're live. You know what I mean? Like you got like a little kayak. So we got a nice little stack up here. I don't know who this is just yet.
That is I-7 Tom Freitag V57, which would be Jimmy Glick is driving that boat this week.
The Glickster.
And then I can't tell who that other boat is. I think that's the I-96 Lamphere.
All right. Nice job from T. Freitag coming across the line in fifth place, I think. And the fast forward here, the V57 with the giggler, Jimmy Glick. You got to go top mic on some of that when these guys go crazy, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's easy to. Is it easy to? It is a gorgeous day as the I-96 comes across the line.
Chuck Lamphere.
Chuck Lamphere is from Lake Forest, Illinois. Now, is that a Lake Geneva boat as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right, well...
He's got two kids that are like laser and fin sailors. Malcolm Lamphere's, I think he's a fin sailor.
You can see all the young faces aboard.
I think so. One of the kids races fin. Well, then his older brother does.
And also, one of the really neat things about the Scows is it's one of the few fleets you'll see people wearing denim shirts and jeans when they go sailing.
Joel, actually, that's his preferred sailing attire in any boat that he sails. And he doesn't worry about getting swamp ass or anything with his wet jeans, but every now and then when the guy with jeans is beating you in a race, you can heckle your tactician a little bit.
Now, we'll have to get a good look at M2, John Dennis, who's famous for wearing his work boots and jeans and a flannel shirt when he sails. And here's the two right here.
As the shady lady comes across the line, we saw young Emily in the at the Brugger's Bagels this morning, getting ready for her day. But you know, the other interesting thing is that the sailing gear goes from jeans and work boots to nothing. Like these guys basically take off all their clothes and sail in a wife beater and shorts or just bare chested. It's just not about the sailing gear in this class. It's about the fun. We like it. We like to get a kick out of that. It's just a great attitude down here. You know, everyone loves their fast boats and they take it seriously, but everyone loves to have fun. And fun is by far the priority in this fleet, I'd say, even amongst the top guys. Now, did I hear right, Showman? There's a brand new boat here? Is that true?
No, there hasn't been a brand new boat in a few years. Pat's is the newest boat on the Melvin, and it's, I think, a 2-year-old boat.
Yeah, and there are a lot of these boats around, too, scattered throughout the Great Lakes. I don't know how many hundreds of them there are, but there's a lot of them around.
Oh, they're watching us live in Canada.
All right. Well, shout out to our friends in Canada. Thank you for watching. Please take the link and send it around to your friends and family and anyone who you think might be interested in sailing. We're going to have some fun graphics for you tomorrow and sort of a few more features and maybe even 3 or 4 interviews that we can give you and all sorts of goodness. So
I apologize for not having that today. I kind of had a big night last night, not going to lie.
it's all about the fun here. So we still have more than half the fleet out on the course. You can see even in such a short race, lots and lots and lots of separation. And again, that's because these boats, like any apparent wind machine, when they get a puff on, they can go be doing double the speed of their neighbor. Right now, after that puff took the lead sort of 10 boats through, big hole developed behind. You can start to see spinnakers hanging there and barely staying full. And the angles now are just getting atrocious. The boat's jibing through probably 120 degrees right now. And I'm thinking we're definitely going to have like a fully shirtless cruise here after this race. It is so civilized out here.
Right there.
Bobby Allen,
Legendary Allen on this lake.
and that's an Olympian, isn't it?
That's like a whole Allen boat
Billy,
right there.
Billy Allen.
Kathy, Lindsay.
This is the whole Allen family. I think we stayed with them. We stayed with the grandparents a few years back. So you got some spectacular sailors from this quiet little lake.
Actually, Bobby and his wife are the ones that are run the shrimp party that we're going to have tomorrow night.
All right, so thanks to Bobby and his wife for running a party tomorrow night. We're excited about. Giving us a little wave. Hey, guys.
Good to see you, Liz.
And I'm guessing we're probably going to a fishing break after this race. You see that on there?
Hi.
180 pounds of, you're live. 180 pounds of frozen shrimp on the island waiting for us.
Soaking in water because the island's underwater right now.
So that island that we're talking about is the yacht club. That's the Minnetonka. Is it the
Yeah, it's like yeah,
the Lake Minnetonka Yacht Club?
it's an infinity pool right now.
Yeah, and it's actually on an island that is almost entirely submerged now. So it's going to be an interesting party. I think you got to show up in duck boots and a snorkel. Oh, look at this! Show this. So we just talked about the spinnakers hanging. Look at that, they're going through the jibe and just really tough to get it going again. They're in 2 knots of breeze right now. The jib's actually coming down to try and get some air into that spinnaker. And there we go. They should be able to trickle across the line here. And in fact, it's setting up these guys maybe. Nah. Ooh. Just enough to move, not enough to start another race, I'm guessing.
I just want to give a shout out to my 2 kids, Famous Seamus and Kite Girl, who are up at the Optimist Regatta today at White Bear Lake. Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Like we said, it's all about family programs here on Lake Minnetonka. Everyone's got kids and opties and lasers and Bics. And
We got these guys converging here at about 1 knot.
I thought this was going to set up a nice port starboard at the finish, so it looks like it might, but I think this green boat just couldn't get it going, and the other one's just got a little bit more way on. They should be able to creep across the bow, but it is tight. And we'll see some yelling coming up or no?
With Carl Zinn, you're going to hear some barking.
Carl Zinn's on the green one.
Yes.
Yeah. So Blue gets him. It was that jibe, and the green boat just miscalled the ley line when that air got light and they went high. They thought they could make it, but they couldn't. And Blue, which, you know who that is? Sorry?
5, that would be Lee Allness from White Bear Lake.
White Bear Lake. Lee Allness from White Bear.
Same thing.
White Bear Lake.
So White Bear crosses ahead of Minnetonka there. The Zinn.
The Zini.
Viper Lake made famous in the movie Fargo.
What movie?
Fargo. Go Bears. And they're in the bar. Go Bears.
So go ahead and re-watch the movie Fargo for a little bit about White Bear Lake.
You have fun, Dave?
And that's That's Evans, isn't it? The Cosmic Warrior.
Rob didn't quite bounce back from winning the wrong side on the first beat. He got over on the left, and he looked good at the start, but there was just nothing over there, and he rounded deep and just didn't really get back out of that hole.
But Rob, a perennial podium finisher on these things. Great bunch of sailors. I think they live right next to the older Allens. Now, PD, one of the other really cool things about this Minnetonka Scow racing is the really, really famous A-Scow bar that you guys can move around and actually it's a restored, beautiful wooden A-Scow that actually serves as a bar. Is that thing going to make an appearance this week?
That thing is going to be. It's getting set up right now at Wayzata Yacht Club for our post-race party this afternoon, and then it's going out to Minnetonka Island tomorrow night for the Saturday night shrimp party.
All right. Well,
Billy Allen, Olympic gold medalist, sailed with Buddy. I think we talked a little bit about that earlier, but that's his boat. He finished it, and he's been renting it out now and actually hauling it around. And it's a great bar. It's a beautiful boat, and I've had a lot of fun behind that bar.
Like the guys in South Carolina that show up with the pig roast, you can call up the Allens and they can show up with their A-Scow bar for your next regatta. It's kind of a nice little toy. Yeah, it does work as a good bar dancing. Don't get too far away here, Sean, man. You can kind of just hang out and push in a little bit. Petey, remember that we'll be running this later, so hand off to someone if you want. The kid can take it too.
I'd like to sit down.
Kid, you want to run the camera for a little bit? So we're gonna do a little camera switch here with young Ian Solom on the camera now. For you folks who are coming to the party later, we're going to have this hopefully up on a TV screen or something for you. But
live from the party, or is that
we're set up now. We can do live from anywhere. I don't know why you'd want to, but we could. We might do award ceremony and whatnot. Are these guys coming into a finish here?
Yes.
Oh, God. That's brutal. Brutal.
Robbie actually switched to the smaller kite.
So,
mid-sized kite, which is generally the one you want to use when it gets really light.
so Sean Man giving us a little scoop that Rob Evans looks to have gone to a smaller, flatter kite for this ultralight air just to keep it going. And look how he's moving. So that's a good example. And the jib's half down. It's a good example of adjusting to the conditions, and these guys know how to do it. How many kites can they carry, Sean Man?
Well, they usually go with the whomper and the mid.
So usually 2 kites. I know that when I sailed here, we went through 2 kites in one race. We had to get 2 more off another boat. It's amazing. These big kites there's so much to catch on them. Oof. So that was a really nice effort at jibing on someone that just failed miserably. But look, he's actually the W88 is stopped. So what we thought was bad might have been really good. These guys are going backwards now. Let's stay with this here. Let's stay with
the small kites that jibes really a lot.
Stay with this, Sean, man. I think Evans is going to get him here. I think it turned out to be a great move. So as long as Robbie plants one more jibe here, he's going to have no trouble beating the W88. The W88, by the way, is it 88 or 28? So that's Larry Party. So Louis Hill driving the W88. Is that right? Yep. Gets beaten by Rob Evans there. Nice job from the Cosmic Warrior at the last jibe. And the U25 is screaming in here.
Actually, Jay, but they put the...
Sorry, that's Thomas Castle from Oshkosh. So that's called poor mainsail stickering. So it's actually a J and a J.
25's not exactly a back-to-back.
The race committee's asking the same questions we were. And some more action here as the J5. There was a really nice puff there on the right that let those two last boats come in pretty quickly. The M1 or the U25, J25, and the J5.
Jack right over here, Alan 10. Jack Stropman, another what? P third generation.
The M10, Jack Stropman with the Animal House. Lots of little children on that one.
Grown up now.
No, they're like.
What was the one that had all the kids on it in that shot, Petey?
Oh, that was Melvin. That was like all of Pat Hughes' kids.
Team Melvin had about 11 under 10s sailing the other day.
Not. Oh, okay.
So the M10 is going to get in just ahead of the M64, it looks like.
10, Mike, 64.
There you go. So Mike 10. And lots of cheering for Jack Strothman there off of the spectator boat. And I think bringing up the rear here is going to be the V999, which is Valkyrie. That's Klauser and Haynes from Dousman, Wisconsin. On beautiful Pewaukee on the corner of the Great Lakes.
Okay, is that Blake?
Tom Hodgson.
Tom Hodgson.
So there you have it. Race 1 is complete here at the 2014 Jaguar Land Rover U.S. National Championship for the A-Scows. And it was a good race. Not great win, but I've plenty to have a race and a little fun at the end there.
If we can go talk to Blake too, I need to have him send me the score sheet.
So just kind of hang around, folks, and we're going to do a little bit of maintenance here, and we'll leave this running for you.
I need to find out if they are going to hold out here for a while.
We're going to find out if they're going to stay around here, if they're going to send them in or whatever. So just stand by. We'll turn the sound off for now, and we'll leave the images running to you. And enjoy. Thank you for joining us. And go to facebook.com/A-Scow Nationals to see all the great pictures that our wonderful photographer Meredith Block has been putting up. And for updates. Stand by. Folks, thanks for keeping an eye on us. We have, unfortunately, to report that after one race for the U.S. National Championship for the A-Scows, we've had to abandon with dead calms out here on Lake Minnetonka and nothing within 400 miles that looks really good. So we're going to get to the Wayzata Yacht Club a little early and have a nice party. All you locals are welcome to come down and say hello. And, of course, come out tomorrow and join us for more action starting at 11 o'clock from the starting at 11 o'clock from the 2014 Jaguar Land Rover A-Scow National Championships. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to hand off to Petey Crawford to read off the scores.
All right, so first place was the Team Melvin on the M21. Second place, Mike 8, which is Tommy Burton. Then we have Tom Freitag. Oh, no, actually, Vincent Porter on the I-1. Joel Ronning on the M4. T. Freitag on the I-7. And that was fifth place. Sixth place, V57. Seventh place, I-96. Eighth place, M55, Harry Allen. Ninth place, JD on the M2. And on 10th, W25, Lee Allness. Check out Yacht Scoring. We'll put the rest of them up there. I'm not going to read them all.
All right, so that's yachtscoring.com. You can go there for all the scores. They should be up in about a half hour. And again, I'm Alan Block for our whole crew out here in Lake Minnetonka. For our sponsors, Great Clips and Jaguar Land Rover of Minneapolis. I want to thank you for joining us. We will see you in the morning.